be cautious, understand that it's an ongoing mitigation. It's a dangerous situation, or at least it was.
And now tonight at 5 on WHAS 11 News, we can tell you the all clear. Downtown roads are now back open after an intense morning in downtown Louisville that had natural gas filling the mayor's office and other key government buildings. Employees evacuated. At one point considered a dangerous leak. We're live to show you downtown at the moment.
A Louisville mother fighting for her son at the state capitol, why she says Kentucky is failing children with autism, and the surprising response from lawmakers.
Plus, dozens of cars set to be sold to the highest bidder. When Jamie Knowles' former vehicles will head to the auction block to pay his restitution.
And later at 5:30, get ready Louisville, exclusive to WHAS 11 tonight. Your first look at the incredible lineup of Broadway musicals on the way to the Kentucky Center. The folks from PNC Broadway are here live to reveal the list for the first time right now on WHAS 11 News at 5.
First, we do want to begin with that dangerous gas leak in downtown Louisville, forcing evacuations. It's our top story. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay McAllister.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. The all clear was given a few hours ago. That's the good news. And then key downtown streets that were blocked have now reopened. But at one point today, this was a major gas leak. WHAS 11's Isaiah Kim Martinez covered firefighters and talked to downtown business owners. And Isaiah, this leak even forced Craig Greenberg out of his office right into the street with everyone else. Was anybody hurt in this today?
Doug, Shay, thankfully no injuries, but you're right. The mayor was out. The mayor's office evacuated. Metro Hall, the county clerk's office, all told to get out immediately. And I can tell you right now, this is 5th Street. The scene remains active. LG&E crews are still here. You see many of these manhole open at this time, and right underneath 5th Street is sort of the focus right now. They're still trying to pinpoint exactly the source of the gas leak. As of right now, the gas remains shut off. Now, earlier, we saw the doors of Metro Hall and several businesses right along 5th Street with their doors propped open to ventilate. Really showed exactly what we were dealing with here. Louisville Fire Assistant Chief Bobby Cooper says this was a dangerous situation that carried the risk of explosion.
So oftentimes you have gas leaks, say, in a home, in a dwelling. If we get 10% LEL readings in a home, we're going to do something. We're going to evacuate. We had levels well above that. So it was a dangerous situation. It's natural gas. You know, it's flammable. It's an explosive. So yes.
Well, when there's a gas leaking area, you don't know when they're going to be blown up.
Kim right there, owner of Korean restaurant Jin Doshirak on 5th Street, one of several businesses forced to evacuate. Investigators have zeroed in on a plastic gas line as the possible issue, 8 inches thick, running underneath 5th Street. And again, you can see several manholes open at this time as the street remains closed. The big question, though, guys, is when businesses will be able to reopen. The hope is tomorrow, but I'm told at this time they're still trying to figure that out. Doug, Shay.
Well, Isaiah, I'm curious, you know, we've had such extreme weather. We've had temperatures down almost near zero and then shooting right back up to 70 degrees. We've seen water lines that break in those kind of conditions. What did the firefighters say about the gas line possibility?
Well, Doug, it was 15 degrees just a few days ago. Now it's about mid-60s. And when we asked Bobby Cooper about that from Louisville Fire, he said that was exactly a potential cause here, is that major shift from the freezing temperatures to where we are now. So again, we're waiting for final word, but he didn't rule that out, so that could be a potential cause. Doug, Shay.
All right. Thank you very much, Isaiah.
I don't want you to think that my son is some kind of monster, because he's not. He is a wonderful child. But he is severely and profoundly autistic.
We first introduced you to Frankie's case back in January. His mother is fighting to create a residential facility closer to home for children with severe autism and other intellectual disabilities. Rachel Moldovanou says that there is no such place in Kentucky. It's why she just left her son in some 700 miles away in Kansas, where he's receiving specialized care that he can't find here. Today, Rachel spoke in front of the Senate Committee for Family and Children, bringing to light a dire situation many lawmakers in the room didn't even know was happening.
In the third part of our special report here, our Brooke Hash and photojournalist Addie Hill share the gaps in the system and the plan to fix them.
Since our story ran, I've had over 30 families reach out to me. 30 families who are in the same position that I'm in right now.
Rachel Moldovanou is a mother of 3, but Tuesday the conversation centered around just one of her kids, her 15-year-old son with severe autism, whose aggressive behavior over the years has made it unsafe to stay at home.
Our son was getting bigger than us. He was getting stronger than us. And we reached a point where the safety of our family, and especially my 2 daughters, was in jeopardy.
Frankie needed specialized care beyond what Rachel and her husband could give, and they quickly found out the state does not have a residential facility for kids like Frankie unless they're in state custody.
I really had no guidance about where to go. I was advised that it would be best to put my child in state custody.
The Secretary of the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services responding.
When I heard that somebody had suggested to you that you terminate parental rights, I hate that. That should never be the option. Never.
Rachel hired an attorney and fought for another solution, an exemption that would allow Kentucky Medicaid to pay for her son's care across state lines.
He is at Heart Spring. It is a wonderful therapeutic day school that also has a residential option. They also serve their local community with outpatient resources and services. It is a wonderful place.
A place in Kansas.
The physical pain of being separated from your child, especially a child who is nonverbal, who cannot tell you if they're sad. They cannot pick up the phone and call you and say, "Mom, I'm homesick." We are failing families in Kentucky because the best option for my child was 700 miles away. And that should not be the case.
And Frankie isn't alone. There are dozens of Kentucky kids living out of the state for the same reasons. But why? Senator Danny Carroll asked the state's only residential provider, Key Assets Kentucky, why they haven't expanded to accommodate more families and why others haven't attempted to build here.
Is it that hard to survive in being this level of provider?
It's a workforce issue. I'm not going to take in a child if I can't safely keep them and care for them and provide the care.
A dwindling workforce for a community begging for help.
When my son was born in 2009, the rate of autism was 1 in 110. Today it's 1 in 36. And so I'm asking all of you, this needs to be a priority.
Senators promising to be a part of the fix.
I had no idea that this was the state of the current state of our kids with autism in Kentucky.
There are holes in our services. Those are areas that we have to improve in. That we just have to, and it's not just in your case, but it's in all cases.
Today was the first step in a lengthy process for Rachel Moldovanou, who is determined to bring Frankie's house here to Kentucky one day, and we will continue to follow that journey. From the state capitol, Brooke Hash, WHAS 11 on your side.
One of the suggestions that came from today's session included having lawmakers tour places out of state like Heart Spring that have discovered ways to take care of children with special needs.
This morning, 23 students were on a bus heading to Wagner High School when it was involved in a crash in Nulu. Multiple students were hurt in that crash. It happened just after 8 near Baxter Avenue and East Jefferson Street. According to Metro Police, it appears a car was trying to turn left when they failed to yield to the bus, who had the right of way, and the two collided. Police say 10 students were taken to Norton Children's Hospital to be treated for minor injuries. The driver of the vehicle was also taken to the hospital. Luckily, everyone here expected to survive.
Auctioneers are planning to sell off to the highest bidder 30 to 50 cars belonging to the former Clark County, Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll and his wife Misty. That auction is set for Derby weekend. It will take place at the French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana. The auctioneering company says May is the kickoff to the car season in Indiana, and there will be hundreds of car enthusiasts in the region for this auction. The auction will be in person and online May 2nd and 3rd. Now, TG Freegee with the auction company says it'll be a lifestyle auction, also with Indianapolis classic mini bikes.
The month of May starts, the car culture, really starts coming in the month of May. That's the dates that worked well for us and worked well for, hosting it and really having more of a lifestyle event.
About 80 of the cars are photographed on the company's website right now. Most of them were seized as evidence from Noel's title swapping scheme that landed him in prison. Noel has to repay $3.1 million in restitution.
A new update here at 5. 23 Kentuckians have now died from the recent round of severe weather. The latest update came within the last hour from Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. In a post on social media, Governor Beshear said the latest victim was a man from Graves County. This update comes a day after President Donald Trump allowed FEMA to help those impacted by the deadly weather. And you can also help. You can donate to Kentucky's Storm Relief Fund by clicking the link in this story on WHAS11.com.
In Washington, D.C., the White House says more than 1 million federal workers have responded to Elon Musk's email ultimatum. List 5 things you did on the job last week or be fired.
The White House says President Donald Trump and Musk are unified as confusion grows over whether federal workers should respond. ABC's Perry Russum has the story from Washington.
Confusion for federal workers over whether or not they should respond to the ultimatum email from Elon Musk. Reply with what they got done last week or lose their job. President Trump yesterday calling the email genius.
We're trying to find out if people are working.
Even with Trump's support, the Office of Personnel Management calls the request voluntary. The Pentagon, FBI, and Department of Justice are telling workers not to respond. The Department of Health and Human Services first telling employees to respond, only telling them not to respond 6 hours later, then finally telling them they can respond, but warning employees should assume that what you write will be read by malign foreign actors and tailor your response accordingly. Republican lawmakers facing frustration from their constituents back at home over Musk's power in the government. This town hall at a coffee shop for Missouri Congressman Mark Alford turning into a shouting match.
Elon Musk has contracts with the federal government. But he is also, I think, doing an effective job.
Conflict of interest! Show me!
I know there are a lot of people who don't want.
I think the vast majority of the American people understand and applaud and appreciate the DOGE effort, the goal to scale down the size and scope of government.
While Republican leadership praised DOGE's work, Democrats question the overall intent.
When you have DOGE go in and just start doing these random firings, they have no context for what they're doing.
Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Department of Government Efficiency claims it has saved an estimated $65 billion. However, that number cannot be fully verified. DOGE says the money comes from the canceling of government grants and contracts, as well as the reducing of the federal workforce.
Stay right with us. We're just a few minutes away, in less than about 15 minutes from now on WHAS 11, only on WHAS 11, your station to show you first the next season lineup for PNC Broadway in Louisville. This season has seen shows already like Les Mis and Moulin Rouge, with 4 more to come. President Leslie Broker will be right here live to announce the lineup for the stage at the Kentucky Center. Some amazing shows. You'll see them all right here at 5:30.